We're going to start our October the 2nd meeting tonight with the invocation. I'll do the invocation, then we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Grogan, and then we'll have roll call. Please stand, please. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight to have our meeting in the endeavors of doing things for the city and the citizens in Ocoee. We pray that you'll watch over us and help us as we go about our business, and that we all get along and work towards the betterment of our citizens and our city. We come to you tonight to let you also know that we want you to look after the first responders and all the people that are away and in service for our country, that you will protect and serve and take care of. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Grogan?
Here.
Commissioner Wilson?
Here.
Mayor Johnson? Here. Commissioner Ferstner?
Here.
Commissioner Oliver?
Here.
All right. First thing, we have a presentation, Red Passion Flower Mosaic by Ocoee Elementary Principal, Dr. Anna Gonzalez, and art teacher, Lisa R. You want to come on up to the, you going to come up with him, Christine? Yeah, come on up, ladies. Tell everybody who you are.
Hello, everyone. I'm School Board Member Christine Moore, and I'm very proud to have been the school board member for Ocoee Elementary. And this year, Principal Dr. Anna Gonzalez planned a wonderful Spirit Day for the children, and they studied the history of Ocoee, and they made artwork. And this year, you can see there was a particular emphasis on Ocoee as a passion flower. And so I'd like to introduce Dr. Gonzalez to you because I tell her she, in another life, could absolutely be an event coordinator. She did a fabulous job with the children, and then she'll introduce to you our wonderful art teacher, Lisa Arnold.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. I'm very happy to be here and to share this piece of art. We are celebrating Ocoee, and one of the things that Ms. Moore pointed out to me was that this is, of course, the area's celebratory flower. And so we took that, expanded it from last year. Last year was the first annual Ocoee Cardinal Day, and we combined our efforts with Ocoee Middle School. So two sites got together and celebrated the day, and this year this is our combined effort with all kids from K to 5 and our middle school. So I also am going to defer to a very outstanding teacher, my art teacher, Miss Arnold.
It was a pleasure to go outside of our comfort zone and do some collaborative work this year. Last year we had a great time with spelling out the word Ocoee in paper passion flower sculptures that were spelled out on the lawn. This year we chose to do something with things that would normally be thrown away. And when we work together, it can create wonderful results. So every single student from kindergarten through 5th grade had a hand in learning about the history of crayons and researching, and then actually building this as well. The last 20 hours was mine, doing it at home over Labor Day weekend, but we got it finished. But this is just a testament to how when you work together, great things can happen. So we hope we can continue that with our partnership with the city of Ocoee as well. Thank you.
What I'd like to do, if it's okay with you, is to get a picture with the commissioners and the ladies. And I personally want to thank you for all your effort. I know last year when I went to the first one last year, it was amazing, and all the activities that you do is amazing there. We appreciate it very much, the love and care you do for our children at our elementary school. So, and thanks again for the passion flower deal. A lot of people kind of wondered what we were doing when we first brought that on board, but I think the more it grows on people, growing flower. So it works. So we'd like to get a picture with everybody, if that's okay.
Oh.
Come on. Hey, better catch it now.
We want to move this on?
Yeah, we'll get it. Right. were talking about it. I think if you went up to the school, I don't know if the principal maybe could let you come and sometimes see the paintings and the artwork on the, in the school, you'd be amazed. So if you get a chance, some of you go by the school and see the principal and see if you can go in and look at it. Thank you. Thanks, Christine. Do a great job as our school board member. Thank you.
Are we gonna display that here?
Huh?
Was that gonna be displayed here? They were talking about displaying it here.
Yeah, I think we can display it here, right?
Wasn't that one of the topics?
We will do that. All right. Let's see, I got a proclamation here. National Hispanic Heritage Month. All right. Whereas each year Americans observe National Hispanic Heritage Month by celebrating the history, culture, and countless contributions of those whose ancestors were indigenous to North America, as well as those who came from Mexico, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Spain, and the nations of Central and South America. And whereas Hispanics have enhanced and shaped our national character with centuries-old traditions that reflect the multi-ethnic and multicultural customs of their communities, while adding their own distinct and dynamic perspectives to the story of our country. And whereas 50 years after the United States first observed what was then National Hispanic Heritage Week, begun under President Lyndon Johnson, Hispanics represent a vibrant and thriving part of our diverse community. And whereas Hispanics have enriched and reshaped our communities for generations, and whereas Hispanics and Latino residents represent 22% of the city's population, and whereas Hispanics continue to make significant and diverse contributions to this culture, education, economic, and political vitality of the city of Ocoee. Now therefore be it resolved that on this second day of October 2018, the Ocoee City Commission does hereby proclaim September the 15th through October the 15th, 2018 as Hispanic Heritage Month, and encourage all residents to honor the rich diversity of this Hispanic community and celebrate the many ways they contribute to our nation and society. And thank you very much. Witness there of the Mayor, Rusty Johnson. So I'm gonna give this to our city clerk, right? You gonna hold on to this? All right. All right, we have a presentation by the Future of Ocoee Youth Soccer by Let Me Play Foundation, Jane Rainier and Marconi Machado. What I'd like to say is, before they start, and Craig Shadrick, our Assistant City Manager, we've met 3 or 4 times with Jane and Marconi about the soccer. They've done a super job, and what we want to do is let them do the presentation that they've been working on and put it before the city for our youth. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they'll probably tell you this, but it's about 600 kids in the activity, so that's a lot of kids in our soccer foundation deal. So I will go ahead and turn it over to Craig and let him start with the presentation with Jane and him.
Thank you, Mayor. Members of the Commission, Craig Shadrick, Assistant City Manager. Thank you, Mayor, for taking away most of my introduction, and you did it much more concisely than I would have. Staff has been meeting with the Let Me Play Foundation. This is important because youth soccer is the fastest growing sport in Ocoee and Central Florida, and we have exclusive agreements with other organizations such as the Babe Ruth Baseball and also the Ocoee Bulldogs. And soccer has grown to the extent that there are some more formal things that may be warranted here. They've approached the city. We suggested they make a presentation to the commission. They'll be seeking commission direction to work with staff in bringing something back at a later date. And I'm going to turn it over to Jane Rainier, and then she's going to turn it over to Marconi Machado. Thank you.
Good evening, City Manager, the Commissioners and the Mayor. My name's Jane Rainier. I've lived in this super city, great city, for 32 years now. My husband and I have 2 children and a grandson. And for those commissioners that don't know me, I've run the Ocoee Soccer League for almost 2 decades now. for almost 20 years. The league has served this community for 25 years and is open to children, obviously in this community and adjoining communities. I've worked hard to establish the league, and it's the largest league in the city with, as the mayor said, over 600 children, which gives testament to the ever-growing popularity of youth soccer in this town as well as in the country. Ocoee Soccer League has formed a comprehensive partnership with GGS Soccer Academy, providing more soccer from recreational level on up to competitive level for those children that would like to advance from the recreation on into competitive soccer. That has led us to form the non-profit foundation Let Us Play, or Let Me Play, which is the main objective of this foundation, is to help our youth participate in educational and sports programs. To accomplish this objective, the foundation provides financial assistance for education and or sporting opportunities for our youth to play sports and participate in educational programs, enabling them to become active, confident, and successful leaders in our community. The foundation will also be an active member of this community, helping enhance sports facilities and provide sporting equipment. This is a milestone for the city of Ocoee and the future of soccer in our city. And I'm now going to introduce you to Marconi Machado and let him explain more about the foundation and what we have accomplished together.
First of all, I want to thank Jane. I think the city of Ocoee is very blessed to have somebody, such an amazing role model and soccer contributor. I think it's a pleasure being working with her this past 2 years. So thank you, Jane, for that. I wanted to show you guys a quick video that explains exactly what the foundation is about. We successfully athletes in the development and competitive program. And GGS Soccer Academy hopes to provide the youth of our community the benefits of team sports that develops character and sportsmanship, promotes enjoyment, and encourages each individual child to achieve his or her highest level of development. Our goal is to combine sporting activities along with academic education and ensure that each child has access to the best learning environment in order to maximize their personal, athletic, and professional growth. And in the past 2 years, we have already donated over $40,000 last year to the children of Ocoee. We have in the recreation and the competitive side. This year alone, we have already given $36,000 in scholarship, and we hope to give much more by the end of the year. We started the No Child Left Behind Christmas rally with the police of the Ocoee Police. We get the families from the academy, and every program that we have try to donate toys in that time of the year. We try to participate every year in the annual Easter extravaganza. It's been quite fun. And we've also been helping the Ocoee community schools and churches starting during after-school soccer programs. We actually started in the Ocoee Elementary this last year, and we're still doing this year. So thank you guys for letting us work with that too. And in the last 2 years, we also have invested over $70,000 in equipment and field enhancement at Gene Beach. If you guys see the package that I gave you guys towards the back of, has a list of every citizen that we have given a scholarship, their address and the amount, and also where every money has gone to as well. Our biggest thing right now is the whole program to make it work. We're using Gene Beach Recreation Center. Like we said, we have 600 athletes, 250 on competitive, 250 on the developmental, over 20 staff, over 30 volunteer staff helping us out. But we have outgrown the size of the field right now at Gene Beach. So we are asking the city to make Gene Beach turn into this beautiful soccer complex. And Jane, you want to talk about it?
Yeah. This is what we're hoping to propose to the city. The Let Me Play Foundation will match 50/50 the cost of the Jim Beach Recreation Centre Field Expansion Project. We'd like to turn the Jim Beach complex into a up-and-coming soccer complex, and in turn we're also asking for priority use of the soccer fields. And I'm happy to be standing here as we've come to the point where the gentleman's agreement that I've always had with the city, and it's been very, very good to me and my soccer league, or the soccer league, that we formalise the agreement with Let Me Play Foundation and the soccer providers for the city that are going to provide the residents of the city soccer. That was our presentation.
All right.
Have you got any
Greg,
questions?
Kind of give us an overview of what we need to do. I know the fields are looking good out there.
Yeah.
Fantastic, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Can walk barefoot on them.
Okay, Mayor, sir,
Yes, sir.
you got a question?
Well, I'd like to know what we as the commission need to do.
I believe what Ms. Rayner and Mr. Machado are requesting is that the commission direct staff to come back at a later date with a formalized agreement that has more of the details worked out. We have looked at this preliminarily. I've had Mark Johnson, who is the acting director of Parks and Recreation, looking into this. We believe that we can accomplish this partnership program through a combination of rec impact fees and budgeting over the next couple of years. We rarely get a community partner that offers a match. We've done a lot in the past for not only youth football, which is a big part of my heritage, but also youth baseball. So looking at this with the existing gentleman's agreement that you have with Ocoee Youth Soccer League, which Ms. Rayner has been a part of for so long, they've simply added another partner, and they want to use the Let Me Play Foundation as the umbrella for being able to provide recreational and competitive soccer to Ocoee citizens. We see similar models like this in other cities. Some of them have, hired franchises or entered into agreements with companies like Florida Rush, so on and so forth. We have looked at several of those. This is a pretty good financial deal compared to what many cities are doing. Having said that, I believe that she's requesting that the commission, by some type of consensus, ask the city manager to work with staff to come out with something that we would bring back at a later date.
All right, before I turn it over to Rob, I know that what we do for Little League and Pop Warner football and the senior leagues and all that stuff, we work on all the fields. Our field is probably I think our football field for Pop Warner is probably one of the better ones in the area, and you know that also, Craig.
I know that
And
from
our Little
firsthand
League fields
experience.
are super also, so if you go up and take a peek at them, you'll see that we are, and kudos to the Recreation Department for their work they do on those. I went up Saturday to the Pop Warner, they had the crowning of the king and queen, and I went to that, and I was amazed at the field, the shape it's in after all the football being played on it. So they've done an excellent job. But it's just to say that we do this stuff for Little League, we do it for Pop Warner, and so I'd like to see us, soccer's turned into be a huge attraction for these young people, so I think it's a great thing. So, before the commissioners can talk on it, or I'll turn it over to Rob and let Rob.
Yeah, just a few comments, Mayor. I've spoken with Jane and Marconi once or twice, and I know Craig has too, and we agree this is probably a good program. I think some of the things they were asking us for, and we couldn't really nail it down to the specifics at this time. So we thought it would be best if we brought it forth to the City Commission and you gave us a consensus or direction to go ahead and work with this group, as opposed to maybe doing some type of RFP. And I don't know that that would be beneficial at this time. You've got a long history with Ocoee Youth Soccer, but we didn't want to be presumptuous and take it upon ourselves to go ahead and come up with this whole agreement when you might want to go in a different direction. So if that's something you'd like us to do as a consensus, is to work with this group, come back with some type of agreement, cost sharing for capital improvements in the future, and you know, what their rights would be to the field, and the enrollment for you know, the youth in the area, we can do that. But it was just hard to get all that done without the commission, knowing if the commission wanted us to do that or possibly open it up to the public for an RFP.
Okay. Anybody, commissioners? Do we need a motion?
I think a consensus to bring something back. We didn't want to spend
Yeah.
a lot of time coming up with a detailed agreement if it's not something the commission was
I don't have
interested
a
in.
problem with it. Anybody else?
No, I'd like to see that.
You know, I think it's a great program. I've spoken to Ms. Rayner on several occasions, and looking at the expansion of that and the amount of kids they're already servicing right now, and being able to expand that even more. As you know, I'm a proponent of youth programs, so I think it's a great program, and I think it'd be a great idea to continue to work with you guys to look at this expansion and bring something back to the commission that would work for the city and for the kids.
Yeah, so I think,
I've also spoken to Jane about this, so.
yeah, I think, like I said, we've been working on this a long time with Jane. She's the Miss Soccer of West Orange County, I think, so. And this group that tied in with them doing an excellent
Great.
job, and as you can see with the fields. And I think the recreation department works with them great, so I don't think there's any problem there. So
Okay.
city, we can do that, and you can bring us back up.
Yeah, and until that point, Craig or Mark, I don't know, is there anything we need the commission to authorize with the old Ocoee Youth Soccer Group to continue them what they're doing until we come up with this agreement, or?
There really is not, because they've been continuing to operate with kind of a gentleman's agreement for years. So this actually helps us take care of a lot of things in one fell swoop.
Okay. So all we're asking is a consensus to work towards that agreement to bring back to you
Okay.
maybe next month.
I think we got that consensus. Everybody good with that? Yep. You got it. All
Great.
right. Thank you very much. Great.
Thank
great
you very
job.
much.
Good luck.
There's some pages in here that I think are very sensitive with information that I don't think should be part of the, or they have to have some adjustment to them for the record. If you'll notice, they have birth dates and they have children's
what?
names. They have
Birthdays?
scholarships in 2017. When they're dealing with minors, I don't think they should be put into our public record for people to have access to. There's 2 pages in there I don't like because they have children's names. I don't know
We
what,
don't want to give that out to the public.
I don't like that.
Okay, sorry about that.
Well, if we
What?
give those back to Jane, we won't have a copy of them, will we?
Okay, there's just 2 scholarship pages,
Good old redacted.
please. I don't know who else you gave them to, but please.
Good job. Man. Good job.
Thank you. Now,
Here's another. Oh, you got it?
thank
All
you,
right.
I appreciate
Thank
that.
you,
It'll make me sleep better tonight.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
ladies.
Jane.
Appreciate it very much. Thank you. All right, what we're going to do is go to the comments from citizens and the public. What this is the time when there's something you want to talk about that's not on the agenda, and we have one so far. So I will call up Charlie Mae Wilder.
Do you want us to bring the microphone to you, Ms. Wilder? Is she-
Give us your name and address.
I am Charlie Mae Wilder, 813 East Bay Street, Winter Garden, Florida. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioner, and staff. We are here to invite you to participate with us in our 12th annual celebration for veterans and families of veterans of Orange County and vicinity. The late Mayor Vandergrift was a very good supporter, and we just ask you, if you, when you look at the information that was given to you, you find that we provide a service program, a delicious hot meal, and gift certificates to include the widower, family of veterans. And this year, we hope to honor a disabled
Same day.
veteran and family. Okay, so if you would participate with us, we would invite you to look at the inside front cover for, no.
We don't have it.
The information on.
We don't have any of the information.
Ms. Wilder, we
All we have is short form.
No, I know, that's the envelope I sent up with the information in it. With your names on it, but take this up, Joe. Someone has it, it's here, so give it to the mayor.
When did you send it to us, Ms. Wilder?
Tonight,
Tonight?
along with the form, yes.
Is there,
I don't have
we'll have to get this
anything.
to the mayor first.
Okay, I have some more, Joe. Give me
That should
the
go with him.
other letters.
Either that or put it up on the screen.
Can they put up on the screen? Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Okay, I don't have, all I have is this, I don't see anything else. What I would say is, that's the same day as our big Founder's Day, November the 3rd. It's the same day we have our full weekend. Well, I haven't got
No,
to
I don't know if
read
you,
it yet.
no, I realize that, but.
That's fine, too. Yeah, just share them with this too. Okay,
What it is, Ms. Wilder, we have, that's the day of our annual Founder's Day for,
Okay.
November the 3rd.
okay, if you cannot be with us, if you will support us by providing the inside cover ad with the price you see there, you don't have to stop there, you can up it as much as you possibly want to. It's entirely up to you. You have
Okay,
that,
all
you
right.
have that page?
So what you want is, it says in this is, let me just read it real quick.
Okay,
You're invited to celebrate with the Bethlehem Golden Angels Ministry 12th Annual Appreciation for Veterans and Families of Veterans in Orange County and vicinity on Saturday, November the 3rd, 2018, 2 p.m. It says 2 p.m. here, and this one says 6 or 2, at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Yeah, okay. So, and then it has ads. You can do a inside front cover for $100, full page for 50, half
Right.
page 35, quarter page 25, and patron 10. So what you're asking for us is a sponsorship?
Yes, sir. And your information, if there may be a veteran around that you know of and would like to, them to be in our booklet, that everybody will be able to see them
Yes,
in
ma'am.
the years to come. We like to have these, if you can always
Okay.
duplicate this and get as
So-
many.
I will, anybody at the commission have anything you want to say? Have you been to Winter Garden? Did Winter Garden get in?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Okay.
yes, they're already in.
Did they?
They already,
You know, they're sneaky
they're
sometimes.
in for more than what you see here.
Yeah, they're sneaky about that stuff.
Yes, and we also wanted to get a speaker or someone to give greetings, but since you're gonna be doing something else, then we.
Yeah, we have a Friday and Saturday all day, but I personally will do I'll do an inside cover. I'll send you the check and,
Yes, sir.
and the, thing for it.
Thank you, sir.
I'll fill it out and send it to you. So, anybody else?
I understand this is going to be a busy day for all of us, the 2nd and 3rd of November, but I will try to tentatively try to attend the event. I may not only be there for a few minutes or maybe 30 minutes to an hour or so, but I will try to get that, squeeze you guys in, because we have so much going on here in the city that weekend, so I will do my best to attend the event.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry to say that I can't squeeze away from here. I'll be tied up.
We can
I'd like to squeeze away sometimes, but I will make sure that I do
Yes.
my part for this.
Thank
I'm a
you.
veteran also. I appreciate it very
Please-
much.
Please, I'd like
for
to see
your
the
efforts.
picture. We'll picture with your write-up, okay?
Yeah.
All
And I
right.
thank you very much. Anybody
Thank you.
else?
Good to see you, Ms. Wilson.
Good to see you, Ms. Wilder.
Would there be a reason why we do not want as a city to put a City of Ocoee city
That's up
logo
to
in
you.
there?
That's what I'm saying. You can,
You know, it's not like it definitely won't break the bank. I mean, if we do a full page for $50,
It's a half page.
full
Oh,
page.
full page.
Full page, $50, and we can have staff write something up for us to put in there? Is that a
I
good
like
idea?
having pictures in there.
Huh?
You want pictures?
We can't be outdone by winter. I'd say that, I'll second that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Grogan, we give the, you say the inside front cover?
$50 full page.
$50 full page, seconded
And,
by Commissioner Wilson.
Rob have staff, Rob can write up what needs to be put in there?
And I'm gonna send you mine also.
Okay.
Out of contingency, correct?
Yes.
I'll ask my wife if I'd send it out of her contingency.
Okay, thank
There we go. It's a new year.
It's a, thank you.
So we can, I'll send you mine also, and then the city will, can we send it to him, Rob? We'll get it to you, okay? Thank you very much for coming out, and bless you for doing that. Thank you.
Do we need to vote on the motion?
Yeah, we do. I haven't done yet. Thank you, John. All right, let's vote.
Do I have-
I will say that for all the work you're doing, you're mighty generous with not having very high rates. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wild.
Thank you very much.
We have to get our symbol in there if Winter Garden has theirs.
All right. Anybody else from the public? Anybody else have any comments? If not, we're gonna move on to, staff report.
Nothing this evening, Mayor.
All right, commissioners' announcements. Commissioner Oliver.
Yes, I want to thank our city leadership and department heads for coming out to the town hall meeting, actually District 4 town hall meeting. Everyone showed up and they gave great reports and information to the citizens of District 4 about what's going on in the city. So I want to also thank the commission for allowing me to have the town hall meeting right here in the diocese. So thank you guys so much for your participation.
Commissioner First.
Not at this time.
Commissioner Wilson.
Nothing, but I will say you had a great attendance, I'm told, Commissioner Oliver, and I heard very good things about it.
Commissioner Grogan.
Nothing at this time.
All right, we got a few announcements here. Coffee with a Cop is tomorrow, October the 3rd, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Breakfast Club of Ocoee on West Road. Join your neighbors and police officers for coffee and conversation. The city of Ocoee will hold its 11th annual haunted house on Fridays and Saturdays, October the 13th, 19th, 20th, 26th, and 27th. The haunted house is located at 951 Ocoee-Apopka Road. Admission is $5, and doors will open at 7:30 p.m. through 11 p.m. Younger children can experience fun activities, including a bounce house, hayride, prizes, candy, and refreshments. Our annual Ocoee Founders Day Golf Tournament will be held on Friday, October the 26th, hosted at the Forest Lake Golf Club in Ocoee. Registration begins at 11:30, and play commences with shotguns starting at 12:30. Entry fees include green fees, cart, range balls, and dinner. Prizes will be awarded. A lot of prizes.
Prizes.
All right. Consent agenda.
Motion to approve?
Motion made by Commissioner Grogan. Do I hear a second? Second. Seconded by Commissioner Firster. Any more comments? If not, let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. All right. No public hearings. First reading of ordinance. First reading of ordinance for Innovation Montessori, 2336 Fuller Cross Road, annexation and rezoning. We don't need, you gonna read it,
Just
right?
first reading, I'll read the title. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, annexing into the corporate limits of the City of Ocoee, Florida, certain real property containing approximately 2.59 acres located on the south side of Fuller's Cross Road, 870 feet west of the intersection of Fuller's Cross Road and North Lakewood Avenue, pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner. Finding said annexation to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, the Ocoee City Code, and the Joint Planning Area Agreement. Providing for and authorizing the updating of official city maps, providing direction to the city clerk, providing for severability, repealing inconsistent ordinances, providing for an effective date.
Okay, the second reading for this will be at the public hearing scheduled for October 16, 2018, regular commission meeting. All right?
Got a rezoning ordinance that goes along with that. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, changing the zoning classification from Orange County A1 rural to Ocoee A1 agriculture on certain real property containing approximately 2.59 acres located on the south side of Fuller's Cross Road, 870 feet west of the intersection of Fuller's Cross Road and North Lakewood Avenue, pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner. Finding such zoning to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, the Ocoee City Code, and the Joint Planning Area Agreement, providing for and authorizing the revision of the official city zoning map, repealing inconsistent ordinances, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
All right, same thing. Second reading, public hearing will be held, scheduled for October 16th, 2018, regular commission meeting, 6:15. All right, second reading of ordinance, public hearing. Second reading of ordinance for an amendment to the Land Development Code, LDC, concerning collection bins and collection trailers. City Planner Rumor.
Thank you, Mayor. For the record, Mike Rimmer, City Planner. The ordinance, which effective will update the Land Development Code, it's nothing new that we are establishing today. We're just kind of clarifying and making, adding terminology. We have received some, I'm not gonna say pushback, but some verbal discussion on how we don't allow closed bins, closed donation bins, temporary donation bins, which in fact we do, but with under parameters. So what this Land Development Code amendment does is first in Article 2 definitions, it provides a definition for collection bin or collection trailer. That's where they put a number of bins, 2 or 3 on a trailer, and they'll park them and then move them. And we're adding the definition into our Land Development Code, so then we can add the term collection bin and collection trailer into the existing section of our Land Development Code where we talk about temporary storage facilities, dumpsters. Presently, our code allows those to be located in areas that are shielded from public right-of-ways or parking lots. So it's kind of off the beaten path, back behind a building. It's not really situated to be an area where you would locate a collection bin where everyone can see, but we do offer that opportunity on commercial and industrial properties. So we're going to provide that terminology in that existing code, but we're also going to add that provision into Article 15, which is our multifamily development requirement. So apartment communities would not be able to bypass the code and allow collection bins within those developments. So again, we don't prohibit them, only in the sense they can't just set them out in a parking lot for everyone to see. They've got to be shielded on 3 sides in a nice area that's not adjacent to a road, drive aisle, or parking lot. So.
This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, amending the City of Ocoee Land Development Code. Amending Section 2-4 of the City of Ocoee Land Development Code, creating a definition for the term collection bin or collection trailer. Amending specific regulations, including within Section 6-14 and 6-15 of the City of Ocoee Land Development Code, relating to commercial and industrial development regulations and multifamily development standards, to include collection bins and collection trailers, providing for severability, providing for codification, providing for an effective date.
All right, we'll open the public hearing. Anybody in the audience have any comments pertaining to the LDC, Land Development Code? Not, I'm gonna close it, come back, and I need any comments? If not, I need a motion.
I'll be happy to make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Wilson makes the motion for the issues, seconded by Commissioner Grogan. Any more comments? If not, let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. All right. Let's see here. Commissioner Grogan.
What's his comments?
Comment.
Yes, I'd like to thank Charles and the Water Department. They're doing a lot of water work up on, around the lake, Spring Lake, Sabrina, Jamal. The company is coming along very good. It was a little rough start, but they're ironing things out very, very fast. Very soon, everybody up there is gonna have new high-pressured water. So make sure you take the precautions inside your house so you don't blow lines. It's gonna be pressure that we haven't seen ever. So, thanks to the Water Department and all the contractors out there. They're really doing a great job.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes, I have a couple questions. This is probably for either Steve or Charlie. Have we put the signs in that were necessary to make the one-way street over here one-way to where you can enforce it? Or are the signs still coming? I guess that's a Steve question. Then it'll become a Charlie question later, right?
The signs have been ordered, we're waiting for them to be delivered.
Okay.
I'm
I'm hoping
Because
they'll be this week, and then we can.
people can't read the signs that are there, so.
Well, they do have some new ones down the lake that's big. Says, do not enter.
Well, the lake ones
I
look
have
pretty.
to see it.
The lake ones are pretty good. I mean, when you get down to the end of the
Yeah.
street, but it's
Yeah.
the folks that aren't turning
Yeah.
left on Lakewood that don't seem to want to understand
Nope.
that the sign there says no left turn, but that's okay. No, it's not. Until
You're
they.
right.
No, it's not okay. No, it's not. Okay, wonderful. And this is a question for the commission. I had a resident call me the other day because, their child was out on Lake Olympia, and I guess the neighbors were telling them it was a no-wake zone. We have not initiated any no-wake zones on the lakes, have we?
We do on the small lakes like, down behind the Reflections.
But that's no motorboats. There's no motor, but I'm talking about, are we, when it comes to like Lake Olympia and Stark Lake, I know years ago when the water was high, we had put a no-wake on Stark Lake. But we haven't done anything with the water getting high in the last, should I say, 6 months that I can recall. So is there, and what is the story with no-wake zones on like Lake Olympia and those? I mean, we have to initiate them, correct?
Yes, last time, Commissioner, was 2009. You did
Okay.
a citywide, and I believe it was for 30 days, and you, with a $100 fine, was implemented through an emergency ordinance by the city commission.
So, but that was done.
Correct.
So
And then
now,
the ordinance was actually, and you may remember Paul Rosenthal was here at the time, and he wanted it officially rescinded after the 30 days, which was also done. There's been nothing done since then.
okay, so I just want to clarify so that the residents know that we have not initiated anything on our part regarding a no-wake zone. So, okay,
No, we haven't brought it up.
okay, just want to clarify that.
Do they need?
Well, I don't know, I don't know the current situation. Maybe Steve is better at telling us that. If the water's been going down a little bit, we're still getting questions regarding the wells and the gates and,
The water is receding in Lake Olympia right now. Stark and Olympia are about the same level. The gate valve between them has been closed because they're equalized. But the water is going down. The less rain we get, the better it is for them.
okay, so did you see any need for, I mean,
I don't know in relation to their docks where the water falls and why they would want to wake zone that. would be-
okay. Has anyone ever had comments regarding the no-wake zone and issues regarding those lakes?
No, and when we had the people here the other night from Lake Olympia, they didn't bring it up.
No, one of them called me, they talked to me the other
Yeah.
day about it, and that was a concern, but otherwise, there has been one or two folks that have talked to me about a no-wake zone, but no one has come in and actually asked for us to do a no-wake zone on either one of those lakes. We were having problems, remember the between little, I call it Lake Prima Vista, everyone calls it Fish Lake or whatever, but when there was that little canal, that we were having problems at that point, because they were with a no-wake, but, all right, if no one else has any problems, I'm just gonna say residents, that if we have a next meeting, if they feel that's something they wanna come talk about, that may be the time to approach it,
Yes.
and
If
probably,
they call you back, tell them that. Tell them.
yeah, and I'll call the one member and mention if they pass it around, if they want to come back to the next meeting and discuss it with us at that point. Just wonder if anyone else had any comments. Okay,
Lydia?
that's it, that's all I have right now, thank you.
Commissioner
I'd just like to thank the Public Works Department for the great job they're doing on the repaving and restriping of the local roads. They look fantastic, and I'm getting a lot of good comments from the citizens. They appreciate it. Thank you.
Commissioner Oliver?
Yeah, just a couple things. One, I guess this is a public question, maybe a question for you, Steve, or maybe Chief Brown. In regards to speeding in the neighborhoods, there's been a lot of concern about the kids walking on the sidewalks and just cars speeding through several neighborhoods, particularly in District 4, Prairie Lakes, Waterside. They're just blowing right through stop signs where there's kids just walking to school and from school. And I'm just wondering, do we have anything in place, or has there been any discussion to see how do we go about enforcing, I guess, speeding as well as running through those stop signs?
That would be us, probably not you. That's a complaint that myself and the city manager talked about today, and we'll just put directed enforcement in the area. Is there a time frame that's specific? Was it to and from school?
It's usually around
Okay.
school. In the morning, the kids are going to school,
Yep.
and in
And
the afternoon, when they're coming home from school.
Forest,
I can give you
Forest Oak?
specifics. If you go to New Victor Road, and as New Victor Road going towards Jahia Shores Road, there's 2 stop signs. And
Yep.
you can sit there and just watch them blow right through
Yep.
it all day long. And it doesn't matter the time, day or night, they'll blow right through it.
Okay.
So if you can maybe take a look at that, that'd
Absolutely.
probably be a good place to start.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Second thing is, I have to express my my disappointment from the last meeting. I know I wasn't here, but again, we're able to see these meetings and things how they transpire. The decision that was made to basically to not renew the leases for our state representatives, and not look at other alternatives to move our HR department, and just basically made it seems to me a hasty decision based on a few residents that may not understand what we were trying to accomplish, and even the fact that we could have actually brought more revenue into the city, and made a win-win situation. But the decision was made to not renew the leases, or to basically kick out our state rep and our state senator from the premises. I just think that decision should have, we should have probably tabled that decision for another day to look at other alternatives. I'm going on record to disagree with the rest of the commission as they made that decision last week. So again, that was just my personal feelings towards it, and I just thought that we could probably have worked something else out.
Anybody got any comments to that? Go ahead, Ms. White.
Well, I understand your comments, but again, at that point, I think if you listened, I was concerned regarding my residents in the district that I represent regarding putting HR in their community. I did bring up the suggestion, possibly putting the state representative and the senator in the Withers McGuire house, if that was a possibility. I really don't know if it would be or not. But as I said, I had a responsibility. I understand your concern, but I had a responsibility to my residents, and I don't really think I have to say much more. I think I said everything I wanted to that night. And my residents are my concern, and I think they're all of our concerns. We all share residents. But those folks had a great concern with what was going to happen down there, and I was supporting them. And I don't have any regrets in supporting them.
No. Anybody else? Well, the issue came down to, we had got to the point where it was gonna cost us a lot of money to go somewhere else. And when the city hall staff has to be accommodated first. And in the process, one of the things was they looked at buying that building, which would have been $250,000 we'd had to spend just to move the the HR office over there temporary for a year. Or we had to go look at going to the mall, which was another $200-something thousand when you get through doing that. And we all enjoyed Senator Bracy and Representative Brown being here, but in the process, I know that their area is pretty good size and they'll be able to find a place. But we also have a problem with our medical clinic that's having to move. The medical clinic's also got to move to our building over here, because that's going to be coming down. So we have to have space. So what do? Do you rent it out to somebody, or do you keep your own people there instead of renting out somewhere to send them to? And like I said, we appreciate the efforts and time that they help us. We've tried to do everything to work with them over the past few years. I don't even know how long they've been there. A couple of years, Rob? 3 or 4.
Senator Bracy, probably 4 or 5 now.
4. So we've been accommodating for quite a while, and maybe someday there'll be another chance to do that. But what it come down to is, I think everybody up on the board, and we looked at the house, and nobody wanted to do that in the neighborhood, so we're in a situation where we had to come up with a space to put our employees. So that's why that ended up being that way, so. Sometimes it, cost of things, citizens' money, as Commissioner Wilson said, it's hard to spend $200-something thousand to go rent a place to put somebody that we got place for. We've cut our HR office down to nothing already to accommodate one of them, and then we've cut the other in the middle off to the other side. So somehow or another, we had to come together and put our staff back to where they're supposed to be. So I think that was the one thing. All right. Ocoee Founder's Day. I'm going to read off the Ocoee Founder's Day. I didn't mention it a while ago. Is November the 2nd and 3rd, and I'm on Friday night. We have a local group called Spade Cooley. Then we have Runaway June, which is a national group. Then we have Scotty McCreary and Jake Owens, which is, we've sold all our pre-sale tickets out. So all our pre-sale tickets are out that we sell for just the area right in front. So that's 300 seats. We sold them about a month ago for a Friday night. Saturday night, I found out today that they're sold out. So all the rest of the free seats are there. So, and then on Saturday night, we have the Greg Warren Band out of Orlando, which is great. And Elizabeth Cook, who's a Sirius radio announcer that goes around the country doing the radio announcing and sings. Also Drake White. Then we have Easton Corbin, who is also a Florida boy, as Jake Owens. And then on the end entertainment will be Big and Rich. So that is November the 2nd and the 3rd. We also have the fireworks, local artists, marketplace, food vendors, carnival rides, classic car show, fishing tournament, golf tournament, poker tournament, and Chick-fil-A has a 5K and fun run, which I found out today, they have more people signed up as of now than we've ever had. So that's great. So everybody's welcome, November 2nd and 3rd. No more comments? Meet adjourned.